Good evening. Well, we're in chapters 19, 20, and 21 of Luke today, and I just feel like I ought to break into song. I'm not going to as we open up chapter 19 because it's about Zacchaeus the tax collector and Jesus going to his house that day. Then we follow that with what's called the parable of the 10 minas, and that's basically a similar parable to the parable of the talents. And you're going to recognize all the component parts to that. That's followed by the triumphal entry. So we are now entering into Jesus's last week of his life. And so we've kind of moved very quickly through Jesus's life here in the book of Luke. And so that last entry is Sunday, and what we call Palm Sunday. I like down around verse 38 where it says, "Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord, peace in heaven and glory in the highest." That's who Jesus is. That's what they were calling him. They wouldn't call him that come Friday morning. But anyway, that is where it is. The Pharisees didn't like that, so they said, "Teacher, rebuke your disciples." And he says, if the people didn't shout it, the stones would shout out. Then Jesus cleanses the temple. Chapter 20, it's interesting. They question Jesus' authority. Why does he have the authority to cleanse the temple like that? And he asks them an interesting question, which they can't answer, so he refuses to answer their question. Then you have the parable of the tenants, which is another one that just really is it's the cleansing of the temple and the parable of the tenants that really pushes the leaders into this desire to kill him and kill him pretty quickly, because they realize that this parable is talking about them. He's being very pointed and very direct, talking about them. They ask about paying taxes to Caesar, trying to trick him, and he has a very interesting, simple answer to them. They're confused about the resurrection because there's no marriage in heaven, and he explains that. And then they get to whose son is the Christ, and he uses a quote from Psalm 110. And we're going to see that Psalm 110 is one of those psalms that he quotes at his trial. And it's one of the things that causes them to accuse him of blasphemy. And that's chapter 20. Chapter 21, we have the widow offering her 2 mites. And then the rest of that chapter is the signs of the end of the age. This is the same as chapter 13 of Mark and chapter 23 of Matthew. Very complicated. There's a lot of confusion about this, and I'm not even sure what my full opinion is on it. It is talking very specifically about the destruction of Jerusalem and the destruction of the temple in AD 70. It is also, there are references to the second coming of Jesus and the destruction of the world. It is also a passage that is used very frequently in parallels with the book of Revelation, and there's a lot of folks that are doing interesting things with it. I'm not going to talk about that, but as you read through that, pay attention to what he's talking about and see where you come down on those thoughts. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the readings, and we'll pick back up again tomorrow night. Have a great day. God bless you.